Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. You are watching It's CPA Time, the newest broadcast of the podcast in your area. So, CPA stands for Three Young Ladies. We are all friends, and now I'll do the introduction. The C, Carolyn Leslie.
Hello, everybody.
All right. The P stands for Pam Norals.
Hi, everyone.
I like that. And the
I like those
A
kisses too.
stands for Almedia Johnson. So that's who makes up the CPA. It's CPA time. So we're going to get into it today. We have this segment in our podcast called It's Only One Side. Only one side. So we have a situation, and I need you ladies, my girlfriends, to give me your opinion concerning it. So I'm going to read through it, and at the end, we're going to discuss it. Y'all ready?
Ready?
Ready.
All right. And it says, help, help. My career decision is harming my marriage. Since I was a teenager, I knew that I wanted to work in the medical field. As college neared, I decided to nurse children. So after high school, I enrolled in a nursing school and went on to be hired at my local children's hospital. I was a nurse when I married my husband, and he has always been supportive of my career. Recently, a little girl had to be rushed to my hospital and ending up having to stay for about 1 week. She was such a sweetheart, and I really enjoyed stopping by her room to make sure that she and her family were comfortable and well taken care of. Admittedly, I tend to become attached and care a lot about the kids that I help. So it is always really devastating when we aren't able to save our patients.
Oh,
Sadly, this little girl died, and I was heartbroken. I've seen patients die, and my heart breaks every time it happens. So I ended up quitting my job almost immediately because I just didn't want to see any more children die. I couldn't keep going feeling as if I was unable to save them. Thankfully, I made enough money to be able to build a nice savings. But my husband was furious when he heard this, saying that having patients die is just a part of the job and that I need to grow up. But in all honesty, it depresses me more and more every time it happens. So this is the question. What should I do? What should I do? Who wants to tackle it first?
I'll go. Go ahead, Pam, if you want to go first. Go ahead.
because I was going to ask a question because what question is she asking? Should she go back to work? Should she not go back to work? I mean, what you go ahead, Carolyn. I'll they'll give me something to go off. I'm a little confused.
Well, I'm trying to keep in mind there's only one side. So when she said, what should she do? Um, Obviously she's having some trouble um dealing with what she has to go through at work. And being that I do have two daughters, in the medical field, and sometimes they're, dealing with issues like that where they may not be able to save a patient. And so
Mm,
they said it's just like nurturing your own child. You do get attached to the patients, especially when you have them for a period of time. So my thing is to really sit down and evaluate whether or not you're going to continue your career in the medical field, because you put a lot into it. You spend so many nights up studying, and like I said, I have two daughters myself, and
Mm-hmm.
mama couldn't help with nothing. All I could do was listen to their pain and their crying and wanting to quit, and one having to um, encourage the other. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this, and I've heard so many nurses say it's so hard. So I feel like you put so much into it. Um, maybe you can maybe open up a place where you're not directly in contact with patients. Maybe you can oversee someone who has more upfront and close, a personal
That's a
relationship
good
with the
idea.
patients, so it won't affect you so much.
That's a good idea.
And sit down and talk to hubby. I've saved this money, so I can, come up with other ideas. I think it's worth a conversation. It's worth it. Just sit down and talk, and find other ways to stay in your capacity of working, in the medical field. Just figure out another way where you don't have direct contact with them.
I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Thank you.
I agree. Um, that was a thought that had come to me, was that um, I can understand the day to day contact of caring for
Mhm.
people who may eventually pass on. It is devastating, and the more it happens, the more it builds up in you. Um, and but if you love the medical field, like Sister Carolyn said, just find another avenue. You don't have to work at a children's hospital, um, which usually, if a child is in the hospital, they have major issues. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so the treatment there is going to be more intense. But you could always work for a pediatrician.
Mhm.
You could open some type of home health office that where you would send out nurses and not and not yourself. You would do more of the administrative side. Um, there are other avenues where you can use your nursing knowledge. So if she wants to continue in the medical field, just she needs to explore those avenues. Um, it did. I felt some type of way when she made that statement about her hubby, um, and the fact that she saved. She made saved a pretty good amount of money. Um, which means she made a great salary. Um, but for him to just tell her, it made it sound like, you know, he told her, we need this money. You need to suck it up. We need this money. And so it just made me feel some type of way. So that's why I'm questioning what advice is she looking for. It sounded like, had she already quit her job? She already quit, right?
He already quit.
So
Yes.
that decision's already made. Um, so she needs to talk with her husband and they plan, where do they go from there? Because even though she's the one that's working, it's still going to affect the entire household. Um, so they should sit down together and work out where do
Right.
they
Right.
go, in order to keep accomplishing their goals.
Mhm.
Uh, but yeah, I was like, what are you asking? Do you want to do what the husband say and go back to work? And I mean, I could never be a nurse. I would just boo-hoo because when people have problems, I suck them inside and their problems, my problems, and you know, and what happens to them hurts me. I'm one of those girlfriends where you've told me about what your boyfriend has been doing to you or your husband has been doing to you, and we're both mad, and I'm, you know, commiserating with you, but now you forgiven,
Mhm.
but I'm still mad.
At the,
You know,
at the husband.
I want to go keep talk, because I'm still mad.
Mhm, mhm,
I'm
mhm.
one of those people. So I nursing was not. Although I care for people. I don't think I could survive, especially not a children's hospital.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, but
Okay.
yeah, that's
Okay.
my.
All right. So this is my take on the story, and we just have one side. So our audience out there, we're basing our decisions based on just the one side that we have. In the beginning, she was extremely, I could tell the energy. She loved what she was doing. And then towards the end, two things happened. The patient died, and her husband was dissatisfied with her decision in quitting her job. Her question was, what should I do? As a nurse, that's real, and it's called burnout.
Mm,
You may think that you don't experience it because you've seen other people experience it,
Mhm.
but it is a real thing.
Right.
I think you should take time to have that break from work. I think you should take that time to have that break. Don't immediately go and get another nursing job that's solely focused on the children. Explain to your husband
Mhm.
that your career takes a lot out of you. It's not an admin assistant. It's not working in a factory. It tugs at your physical and your emotional, and that's day in and day out. And so we as human beings have to have that opportunity in that moment to recharge. I fear that when if she does go back because the husband may be demanding that the money comes, that she may do the wrong decision because it'll be under mental duress and she won't perform at her best. So the patient, the child, the children that are sick may not get the best care. So it's important that we as women take time out to take time off.
Mhm.
So I applaud her for recognizing, this has gotten to be too much. She was saying that, okay, it really is getting to her when the patients pass away, and this last little one, it's just she really got attached to the patient. So it's okay. It's perfectly okay to take a
Mhm.
break, and that's something that we don't do because we always keep going. And her husband is going to be resistant. Again, we just have one side of the story. He may be resistant, but I think that once she really talks to him and explains to him the situation, then he may get a better understanding. Because to me, it's classic burnout,
mhm.
and you need to take that time in order to take care of yourself mentally.
And like you said, it's okay to not be okay. And we've been
Yes.
trained and taught that,
Yes.
it's not okay, but it's okay. It's okay to take time because once your mind goes, you have all the savings you won't be able to help anybody, not in yourself, nobody else. So there are
Mm.
many, 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 many levels to to working in the medical field. And what I'm seeing a lot is urgent cares popping up. And I think I know Pam mentioned, Almedia may have mentioned that too. Try a supervisor's role where you delegate,
Yep.
anything to help yourself if you don't want to leave it all together. Because I think right now, from the way the story went, she let it go because she's losing those patients. And that's a good thing to be a nurturer, to your patients. But when it starts to get up here, yeah, take the time to figure out, what path you're going to take next.
And it's just it reminds me about the Olympics that just recently happened this summer, and with the what's the young lady name? Simone. She recognized that, okay, I need to step back for a minute. And even though everybody in the competitive world is like, oh no, you can't do that. That's death to your gymnastics career. You can't do that. Just push through it or whatever. And that was a lot of pressure on her to continue on, but she stood her ground to say, no, I need to take this time. And people are still saying, the Olympics only comes around so many times in your lifetime, and this is a once in a lifetime thing. And she still was saying, no, this is what I need to do for me. Sometimes what you need to do for you is unpopular with everyone but you. Because you may be the anchor in a lot of relationships, friendships, work relationships, church relationships, just the whole gamut, which a lot of women carry that torch. But it's okay to say, I'm putting my torch down. And sometimes you say, I'm putting my torch down. I don't care if it get picked up or not. You just have to take care of yourself. So this, to me, this was like a cry for help. And I would encourage this nurse to stand up for herself, to say, okay, I got to bring this money here, but for right now, we're going to go out these savings. We're going to do what we do.
And I would,
Exactly.
in your example on Simone Biles, her other teammates picked up, put down, and they were very successful. The Olympics went on. Our people still won. Everything did not have to rest on that one person's shoulder.
Right.
And you cannot put that type of pressure on just one person. And she did the correct thing. She had to look out for herself, and she had to sit it down, and she sat it down, and the world kept spinning.
Yeah.
The world
definitely.
kept.
I enjoyed this commentary.
I did too.
Good. This was good. So I hope our audience really was able to glean some nuggets from that. That maybe you may be experiencing those types of things, and it may help you to get through something in your personal situation. We're going to pivot right now, and we're going to go into our topic. And today's topic is, what you saying? What you saying? So we're going to talk about communication. And what I want to talk about with communication is two things: what you're saying and how delivering what you're saying. So talk about what you're saying and how you're delivering what you're saying. And I want to kind of go from the standpoint of friendships and long-term friendships that maybe a friend needs to be told something that's not so favorable,
Okay.
but it needs to be said so that there can be a turnaround. So, what do you say to that friend to help them? And then, how do you say it? Because you have love on the line, you have the long term relationship on the line. So, Carolyn, what do you think about that?
It's strange that this came about, the communication, because this is how I see it in terms of friendship. I always want to say what I want said to me. And that's kind of my stance on that. I always want to say what I have to say in a manner that I want the other person to reciprocate.
Okay.
And I think that's fair. It's not asking anything that I wouldn't do or what I wouldn't expect. And so that's kind of how I do friendship. And as a matter of fact, right before we got on, I have a best friend of, oh my God, 20 some years. And we don't talk all the time. We
Okay.
used to talk all the time, but no matter when we do talk, she never changes. Like she doesn't say, "Oh, you don't call me no more," or "You I ain't talked to you in a while." She had just text me and say, "You're in my thoughts. I love you," and that's enough for me. You know,
Oh,
and so I say, and so are you, and we send hearts. And then some Saturday mornings, if I can get time in, and she has her own business. She's a school teacher as well, and
okay.
she has her own business. She has a clothing line, and
Mhm.
she got some good stuff. And I
Hmm.
want to give y'all that clothing line. And me being plus size, she got stuff to fit me, and I love it.
Okay.
And so she's a busy woman, and her daughter is just breaking off into entrepreneur.
Yeah, I
So
need that link.
we, yeah, I'm gonna say it to you. I'm telling you, she is so remarkable. Not once have we had a falling out. We have disagreements now because we're humans, and I don't expect her to see everything my way, and she doesn't expect me to see everything her way.
Hmm.
And sometimes, if things are getting a little heated, we both are trained women in friendships that we know how to push and pull,
Oh,
and
that's
so
so good.
we keep a certain level of respect for each other. And she's not my only friend, but she's one of my closest friends that like a sister, like when I'm really, really, really going through, when she always tell me, you saved me when I was going through. I don't see
Oh.
that, I don't see it, but she always tell me, she always remind me if it's once every 3-4 years, you save me in my darkest hour. So I take a hold of that and I
Hmm.
put it in the back of my mind and I keep it, I keep it there. So when I reach out to someone or they reach out to me, I just want to respect that. I want to respect where what position that friendship lies at. And so when it comes to communication, it's so simple. Treat others the way you want to be treated. It's no big uh to do the thing that you need to do. Just be as pure as you can, be as honest as you can. Because I got some friends I literally probably could take a hammer to, because I have some that I find myself trying to preach to and say, hey, now you know that ain't right. To move away from the negative aspect of the
Uh-huh.
friendship
Hmm.
and real understanding that Almedia, you have more than one girlfriend. So you know how to divide your time. And so you have another friend say, well, she may not like somebody in your circle, and she'll begin to speak negative about Mary. I'm just gonna use Mary for an example. And you say, well,
Hmm.
now Mary, it's up to you to go back and fix that comment. Don't let her get away with it.
Hey,
And don't
that's
say,
so
well,
good. That's so
yeah,
good.
Because I think
Oh,
as sisters, we do that too much. And, oh,
Mm.
yeah, Mary is like that. You're right. Yeah, Mary, say, well, no, I don't see Mary like that. And we all
mhm.
have work that we need to do on ourselves.
That was a
And
gem
God
right
been
there.
dealing with me about that. Don't go along with people when they're saying something about another person, especially if it's a negative, comment or something like that. Now, if they're trying to help and we're trying to pull together to help Mary, and we got to figure out how we can, pull it together to help her, not to just because she's already going through. So me saying, well, that's good for her because she shouldn't did this, and that doesn't help the friendship. So that's kind of how I approach communication.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was some gems in that conversation. So to our audience, if you're not taking notes, please take some notes. Because what Carolyn just said, treat people the way you want to be treated. Stand up for people when you know what somebody else is saying is not true. And wow, that was good. That was good. Okay, Pam.
Amen. Amen.
Oh, that was good. I'm not sure what I can add to that, but as far as communicating with long-term friends, I think one thing that we should maybe take care with is just because you've been friends for however long does not mean that you can say whatever comes to your mind to say. Some people say, well,
That's
I
good.
shouldn't have to say anything to you because we've been friends for this long and I'm just going to say what was true and I'm just going to say what I want to say. Well,
Mm,
no, no,
no, you just can't do
Uh-uh.
people like that.
you can't do right. You can't do
Uh-uh.
people. Even if what you're saying is true, even if that person is having a problem, unless they come to you directly and say, I need your help with this problem, or I think I'm having a problem with so and so, you know, that if they open the door to you to be able to speak truthfully on a
Right.
subject or whatever, then
Yeah.
that's one thing. And even then, you still have to guard what comes out of your
Uh-huh.
mouth because you want what you're saying to be of a help and not
Uh-huh.
of not something that's going to hurt them or drive them
Uh-huh.
away from seeking help or damaging,
Uh-huh.
to their self-esteem or uh, to their sense of self. So um I hear a lot of people saying that nowadays that, they, I'm just gonna say whatever I want to say. I'm just gonna say whatever comes to my mind. And they think that they're being I, I don't know what they think they're being. If they, maybe they think they're being they say, I just got to be me. I just got to be me and say what I want to say. And but we can't survive in this world treating each other that way.
Uh-uh.
We have
Yeah.
to have we have to guard what we say with compassion, uh, with empathy, um, with love.
Right. That's
There-
right.
There's a
Uh-huh.
there are ways to say things.
That's right.
You can say the same thing in several ways, depending on what perspective you come from. You can be
Uh-huh.
mean about it. You can be good natured about it. You can be jokey about it. You can come at it from a place of love, but know who you're speaking to, know how they receive information and process information
Right. Wow. Wow.
and provide it to them in a way that it will be received very well. You know, we're so bad about when we want to say something that we know people are going to get mad at. We the first thing we say is, "Now, I don't mean to." offending anybody, or we preface it. Well, if you got to preface it with that, then you're about to say something that I'm not
Right.
gonna. So gauge whether or not you should continue.
Pam, that is spot on. My next question was going to be, how do you handle this situation? That's just the way I am. And I call it the pop off communication. What you saying? Everything they say, they popping off. They popping off. But that's just the way I am. I'm just direct, and she just needs to hear it. And then when you make a decision to sever that relationship, and you're being labeled as overly sensitive, labeled as a hater,
Right.
you're being labeled as goody two shoes.
Right.
Talk to that.
We can't worry too much about. I don't think we should worry too much about what people have to say when you have to do something that is good for you and your mental health.
Say that again. Say that one more time so that our audience can hear it one more time.
You should not care what other people think when you have to make decisions that are for the good of your mental health. Because we will drive ourselves batty trying to please people and trying to do things in ways that we think other people want us to do when we know that's not what we want to do. And I really don't, I try not to cut off people completely, but when they show you themselves, then you have to know, okay, well, I know you now. So I'm going to limit my contact with you. I'm not going to be available every time you call. You're going to be one of those where I'm going to look at the phone and
ignore.
I don't think I can deal with her today. I'm not going to answer.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick up. I'm gonna pick up for abuse.
Right.
Nah.
Right. I'm not today. Today
abuse is calling. Abuse is on line 1.
Right. Oh my God.
Right. And you don't have to take it. We don't have to take it.
Exactly.
The right to say no, not today. No.
Yeah.
And we have to take that stand, what Almedia just really just gave it a label, because that's what it is. Yeah. And I know all of us, we have a certain spot in our heart for people, and we just want the best. But one thing I have learned, especially recently, is to pull back from people when they're in that negative mindset. They're not willing to change, and you've had this conversation with them over and over and over again, and every time they come into your space, they negative. It's gonna weigh on you.
Yes,
I'm telling you, cut it. Cut it. You will not be able to get through to my line anytime you want again. When I decide that I want to say hi, I'm gonna pick it up, or I might text you and just say, hey, just checking up. No. Because I'm telling you, that stuff would leap into you, and you'll find yourself acting a fool too, or saying the wrong thing, because some people don't see it. And some Almedia call it what, a pop-off communication.
Yeah.
When everything comes in your mind, you think you're supposed to say it.
Here she come.
Right.
Yeah.
That's just me. I'm just like that. When you take yourself and your thoughts and stay over there with it, because I'm not willing to let you come in and take my peace. And that's all I've been meditating on, is my peace. And you shouldn't have to have those kind of boundaries, but trust me when I tell you, you gotta have them. And I know all y'all done been through it.
Yes.
I'm telling you, I'm not willing to let it go. I'm gonna hold his peace. One girl said, one of my coworkers, she tickled me so bad. She posted something. She said, I fought too long and hard to get my peace, and I will fight long and hard to keep it.
Yes.
And you have to. You just gotta say, hey, no, ma'am, not today. Stay where you at.
That's
And we don't know if it's an assignment of the enemy to come into your life and steal your peace. We don't, you sometimes I feel like the enemy has assigned people to me to come, and I just refuse to give it up.
Right.
So I just had to limit them phone calls, like Almedia say, abuse is called. Now you won't get through to 662-820-2328. Yeah, I'm saying it on the air. You won't get through. That's how adamant and serious I am about it. You will not get through anymore.
Yes.
So thank you, Almedia. I'm telling you, this topic is crazy. Thank you. Girl, I could kiss you, girl. Go ahead. And Pam just put the season all on it, about if that person processed like that. You gauge yourself, but then you also watching how does this person process stuff? Is she gonna really listen, or is she gonna process it in a negative light? And when she does, she gonna pop out on he or she. They gonna pop out on somebody.
Right.
So
this is crazy.
This is something that I need help in. I don't catch a lot of innuendos. It is difficult for me to read between the lines. My husband say, "You so complex, you don't even get that. You can get the complex stuff, but the little simple stuff they were trying." So, for example, someone that you just meet and you just be learning them, becoming their friend, they're hinting around that they want you to pay for something for them. Okay, and I'm not saying that I intentionally, y'all, I don't catch it. Real talk, I don't catch it. So what you saying? And when I say it to them like that, like what you're saying is like, well, if you can pay for that for me. I was like, well, if you wanted me to purchase it for you, just ask me. See, then I get a little bit perturbed because you trying to use me.
Wow.
So I just don't catch why are people not clear in their communication. Is it that they're trying to get over and that's the way they've always been? And because you're new to them, it's like get with the program or something. I don't get stuff sometimes, and it just go over my head, and I just be like, "Oh, okay, whatever." And they probably think I'm ignoring them or something, but I didn't catch it. I really didn't catch it.
Right.
Why do people do that?
I'm with you on that, Almedia. I am not one of those that
read between the lines.
Yeah. Don't hint to me. If you
yes,
just say it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I feel like, are you trying to manipulate me? Or take advantage of me?
Yeah.
When all you have to do is just ask me, or, hey Pam, I'm a little short today. I can't go to lunch with you. Then, hey, oh girl, I got you. Come on. Let's go. I want your company. But don't be one of those people that, we're sitting down at lunch and, now all of a sudden it's time to pay and
you get on your phone.
Yeah. Or you say,
Lord.
okay, the wrong purse. I don't have my wallet. You come up with some excuse because, I may look like I'm rolling in prosperity, but who's to say I had enough to cover your bill too?
Right. Exactly.
You might be there washing dishes, playing around.
Yeah.
So, you
Yeah.
know, um, which I enjoy you girls' company, but I have very few female friends
Okay. Okay.
because um, I've heard I'm a straightforward talker, but I have had several people in the midst of a conversation, they'll start looking at me and like, are you talking about me? Are you trying to talk about me on the slide? Like, what are you talking about? I'm talking about my situation. I'm talking about me. What they got to do with you? You know, and I'm not one of those people. I'm not, if I have something to say to you, I'm going to say it. I am
Mhm.
not going to be talking about you on the slide.
Right. Right. Right.
But I don't get those cues. But I've had that happen to me or said to me on several occasions. And so I tend to back away from female friendships because they will analyze every word,
Yeah.
every
Right.
nuance.
Yeah.
You raise your eyebrow, you know, there's a meaning behind everything that
Yeah. And it's really not. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and it's not. And that's too much work.
Well, let me ask y'all something right quick.
Okay.
On the flip side of them throwing out hints that they want you to pay for their meal, what about when you really mean to do well and you do pay for a person's meal and they get up from the table, never say thank you, and
Mm.
they're so mean,
Girl, some
you
go
know,
all the way through me.
yeah, so mean spirited that you ain't got the sense to say thank you, and then you get
Entitled.
up and walk off like
It's
you
expected.
yeah, like you're entitled to for somebody to pay for your food and you can't even say thank you. And I'm like, wait, I
Girl,
ain't even had that money to spare, first of
Mm-hmm.
all, but I wanted to show you that, you know, if I ask you to go somewhere with me or whatever, then I'm mainly going to take care of the expenses. But I was always taught to say thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Even
Yes.
lepers, he talked about the 10 lepers that he healed, that
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, only one came back. And so we know that when you're ungrateful, that's, to me, that's a sin. You can't come back and say thank you to a person. Not that
Yes.
you
The
want
where
it,
your
not
blessings
that you
come
want
from.
it so much, but you deserve it. I didn't
Right.
pay
Right.
$100 for
Right.
your food. You get up on the table and walk off.
Mm.
Oh, help me, Lord, have mercy, my
And
mind.
then this is the flip side of me being dense. Then they be mad at me. And I be like, da da da. And it's like, and it's like, this is not at my current job. Not at my current job. I've had a lot of jobs, so you won't be able to identify which one it was. But in my working years, a coworker said, Johnny mad at you. I'm like, what about? Well,
Right.
the other day. And I was like, what about the other day? And such and such. I don't know nothing. Me and Johnny talked for all of 1.5 minutes. What is you talking about?
Right.
And so I just be like, and they be like, you really don't? I said, I don't get it. And until Johnny comes talk to me, it's a non-issue to me. So then
Right.
they be like, she mean, man. It's like, you don't know. I said, I'm gonna tell you like this. Johnny needs to talk to me directly. Now take that back to him. Because it's like, Johnny mad at me. I don't know why he mad at me.
Right.
And what he mad at me about is irrelevant because you didn't have the gumption to approach me directly. So no, I don't know what you're talking about.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. So I had one situation where I worked. The guy was hitting on me. I was single. He was hitting on me. I picked up that vibe. I wasn't that dense. But I said to him, I said, you don't like me. And he said, huh? I said, you don't like me? I said, what do you want? He said, no, girl, I like you. I was like, you don't like me? I said, When you are ready to tell me what you want, then I tell you why you don't like me.
Wow.
So I was in a human resource position, and he wanted me to hire one of his relatives. And I said, you done penny on the lunch. You didn't have to do this. You didn't have to do that. I said, I'm going to tell you why you don't like me like that. I said, every lady I've ever seen you with is opposite of me. She's tall. I'm short. She's skinny. I'm thick. I said, she has long hair. I have short hair. I said, she's light skinned. I'm dark. Every woman, and I've probably been working there like 6-7 years. Every lady he ever dated fit that criteria. She was tall, light skinned. She was fine. Okay, as they say, she was fine. I'm dark and short. You don't like me. What do you want? And he was like, well, that application. I was like, why you just come in here and say, can you look at that application now? Either we're gonna tell you yes or no. So you didn't even have to go through all this rigmarole and put up this facade. I said, and best of friends. I see him, hey dude, what's up? He's like, hey, what's going on? And it's just like, why you? And he was like, you gonna tell me? I said, yeah, I'm gonna tell you why you don't like me. Cause I ain't seen now what I mean with you.
You broke it down to him. You broke it down.
What you saying? What you saying, dude? It's just something. It's just something how people are. So
trying to butter you up to
yes. So I don't know.
Your wisdom was too much for him.
I guess, girl.
Your wisdom was too much for him. You seen him running, really. So
yeah. So that was something. That was this, and I just when people talk in circles and stuff, and when it comes to me, you in that circle by yourself. I'm just you in the circle by yourself. And they'll probably go tell their friends or whatever. She ain't catch on to nothing I was saying.
Right. Okay. But really, you on top of it, Even I tell men when I meet men and they try to come with that little regular conversation, I say, hey, watch your mouth. It's a certain way you got to talk to me. I respect you. I want you to respect me. I don't need you telling me nothing about your private parts because I want to know what's up here first. I don't want to know what's, so it makes you so sick that, and I actually told him, I said, when am I going to meet a man that's going to tell me something different? I said, and he didn't catch that as an insult. He was like, I got you.
He still trying to talk game.
When am I going to meet a man who can show me something different?
Yeah.
I know that, right? He just went,
I'm going to talk on that.
Yes.
What I can do, even sending out emojis with your talk. If you want to live on this earth, don't send that no more.
Please never do.
Because I'm not interested in that. At my age, don't you think I've seen that? And
Yeah.
And that's the first thing they try to do is appeal to your sexual. Baby, you ain't getting there. That's gonna be the last thing you get from me. If it ever happened, which I seriously doubt, but just because you talking that kind of talk, I said change the conversation, or I gotta hit that. I'm gonna hit that dial on the receiver. I don't want to hear that because I don't even know you. Don't even know me that well. Ooh, baby, I can do some things that you. And your stomach is literally flipping, and like he don't really get it, do he?
No, some of them just don't. They just really don't.
They don't.
They just don't.
They're just letting you know. I already know. Then that's all you want from me. You
That's
don't
all.
want anything else about me.
And if you hold out long enough, you'll see them going about their business because they want to add you to their book. When you hold up and be that woman that God called you to be, that queen, you'll notice that the phone calls get less.
Phone calls.
That's true.
And all you can say is thank you, Lord, for
Right.
having me hold out long enough to see the real person
Right.
Right. Right.
that was trying to step into my
Right.
life.
Exactly.
Do not belong.
Amen. Amen
Yeah.
to that.
Yeah.
Well, how do you ladies, what piece of advice can be given to younger ladies, because we're all same age bracket, to edify instead of tear down, to be positive and to encourage one another, because I see so much hate with social media the way that it is. Any way you can shoot your shot, that's what the young people say.
Right.
Shoot your shot at somebody.
That's how they
Um,
do it.
what piece of advice can be given to those in our audience today that's listening that may be experiencing those things?
I think first they got to know who they are. You got if you don't know who you are, you will just find yourself meshing into every identity that you come across,
Good, that's
and,
so good.
and you and you won't ever
Ooh,
stop.
that's
You
good.
know, you'll find yourself just, oh, he wants me to be this, so I'll be this. He wants me to be this, so when I meet him, I'm gonna be this. You never take a stand and tell that guy or who, no, I'm a queen. You're going to respect me as one. We're
Mm-hmm.
going to talk to each other on this level, not, on that level. So you
Right.
have to, my advice is just don't be in such a hurry and figuring out or wondering, is it going to pass me by? I don't know
Mm.
if y'all ever watched the Aspire channel with Khadijah and those two twins. And their mom went single for 32, 33 years, but she's married the man of her dreams.
Mm.
And it's good. If you ever watch Aspire, most time they show reruns. You may can catch it. It's real good. It was encouraging to me, like Carolyn, don't give up. 33 years. And now she's with
Wow.
the man of her dreams. She said
Okay.
he's everything she ever prayed for.
Mm.
Like, whoo,
Awesome.
yeah.
Okay, Pam, what advice?
Oh, my advice, as Sister Carolyn said, you have to know yourself.
Okay.
Don't rush. We look around, uh, and this is for the men that try and enter your life, as well as
Uh-huh.
the female friends that try to enter your life.
Mm.
We think we have to do all these different things to blend in and to get people to like us. Like if there's a group of girls that you want to be friends with and they all wear long weave and full makeup at noon, and the that whole look, cut
Uh-huh.
out and belly showing, and you feel like you have to dress that way and act the way that they act in order to become their friend.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a circle that you should belong to if you have to do those things. The same thing with the men. You want to have a man in your life, but if all he talks about is your body and how he can get next to you, and
Uh-huh.
you know uh at one point I
Hmm.
decided, if the first thing a man says out of his mouth is when can I come over and see you, you can you we that's it, we done.
Like, deuces, baby.
Hashtag not today.
Not today. It ain't
And
happening.
then hashtag never.
Not right.
You've made your intention known. Okay. You don't want
Exactly.
to take me to the movies. You don't want to take me out to eat. You want to come. Where can I come? Where can I come over and see you? Oh, it was so nice meeting you. You have a great life.
Right.
Um,
Dude, I'm homeless. Deal with that.
Right.
I'm homeless. What you gonna do now? You gonna come to the shelter? I don't think so. Next.
You
Right.
know, we have to be careful. We have to, and this is from experience, because when I was younger, I didn't have many boundaries. You know, I was out having fun. I was partying. I was, ooh, I like you. You like
Mm-hmm.
me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But all we're doing is physical, shallow stuff. You know, we're
Right.
not a real
Right.
relationship, you know, but you want to have somebody there. That's not what's important, honey. When you get on in age, you will come to realize that. But don't wait until you get older. The younger you are, the better off your life will be, and the better off your chance will be that you will be free and open and available for the people that God wants to put into your life.
Amen.
Mhm.
Amen.
Right.
I like that.
Yeah, your life won't be cluttered with all these unnecessary people that are probably really just draining you,
Mm-hmm.
just pulling everything
Mhm.
from you they can get and not pouring anything back. So
Girl, I could, when you
I
have your cell phone, your cell phone will tell you that there are some apps draining your battery
Right.
power.
yeah,
Do you want to put those apps to sleep, or what do you want to do with
yeah,
them? Now, if
they,
your phone can tell you that you
mhm,
got some apps that's kind of like lingering and they draining,
yeah,
baby, you
That,
probably need to cut some people out of your
yeah,
life.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure you want to delete this app? For certain, yes.
yes.
Go.
And
Yes, yes,
no more
yes,
trials,
yes.
no more free trials. I am free trials,
Right.
no more free trials.
Right. It's over.
The free is
It's
gone.
gone. No freedom.
You know,
Get to
seriously,
stepping.
Eve want me so bad they gave me a 3 month free trial. No more free
No
trials.
more
Come on,
free
Right.
trials.
no more free trials. Young lady, please take this wisdom, please.
Please, honey, please, please, please.
Right.
This
Please.
has been an awesome discussion.
Yes.
And this is one that I myself am going to go back and listen to. So if I'm going to listen to it, I know the audience is probably going to go back and listen to it
Yeah.
too. We
Yeah.
want to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining us,
Thank
for
you.
tuning in to our podcast. But we also want to encourage you share, 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 share. Because if you got something out of it, maybe somebody else close to you
That's it. Right.
will get something out of it. So we ask that you would share this because we're trying to impact. Just if you just get one little pearl of wisdom from this, that's one thing that you learned that you did
Mhm.
not know. And
Right.
now that
That's
you
right.
have learned it, you can apply it.
Yeah.
So even if it's next time old dude come up to you with that crazy line, and then you hear our voices or you see our faces in your mind, you be like, baby, he is draining my battery. I don't need
Right.
you. So delete.
Delete. Yeah, I'm sure. Delete. Yeah.
So we have learned a lot of things, but mainly we want to say thank you and catch us the next time when we are on our podcast. This is It's CPA Time, signing out.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.